Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Monday, November 15th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in this video, I'll be going over a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate, and then going into my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get started with the picks from yesterday. So on the DraftKings side, we had Anthony Simons, $3,500. Looking for about 18 points out of him. He got to 30.25, so obviously without Damian Lillard in the lineup, Simons played very, very well, so he was a hit. CJ McCollum, $7,600, looking for 38 points out of him. Got to 32, he was a miss. He only played 30 minutes. This game did end up being a blowout. If he's probably not a blowout, he probably gets 4 or 5 more minutes in this game, and definitely pays off for that price tag more times than not. Then a small forward, this was kind of my cheap punt play of the day, and it just didn't really turn out. At Derrick Jones Jr., $3,000, looking for 15 points on him. He got to 7.75. He was a miss. I believe he only played like 18 minutes. Only shot like the ball twice. Had like an assist, a rebound, and a steal, and just really didn't do too much overall. So unfortunately, that did not work out for us yesterday. And then Draymond Green, $6,200. He was a miss, but he was a just miss at 30.5. So this game also ended up being a little bit of a blowout there. He didn't have like over-the-top crazy stats or anything. Solid day all around. Probably a guy that didn't hurt you, though. Then we went with Zubac at the center position, $5,000, looking for 25 points out of him. He got to 18.25. He was a miss. Only played 23 minutes, did not play the closing minutes, only had 3 shots in this game. Just not the greatest day for him overall. So coming off a perfect day, you do see some of the volatility in DFS. Even when projections look good, they can still go wrong as well, especially on a short slate of 5, a 6-game slate where there is 3 or 4 blowouts on the slate. It definitely makes it hard to find value overall. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Anthony Simons once again, $4,200, looking for 21 points out of him. He got to 30, so he was a hit. CJ McCollum, $7,500, looking for 38 points out of him. Got to 30.4, so he was a miss. Same reasons as we talked about on the DraftKings side. Kevin Huerter, who was my pivot at the small forward position once it was announced that he would be the one starting in place of DeAndre Hunter, who is actually out for about 8 weeks now with a wrist surgery. So just keep that in mind when we get seeing some more Hawks games. But we were looking for 22 points out of him. He got to 18.7. Just not a very efficient day overall. I believe he played about 30 minutes. This game ended up being a little bit of a blowout too, so maybe lost a couple of minutes towards the end, but not anything I can, chalk home that really affected him overall. Blake Griffin, $3,900, was looking for 20 points out of him. He got to 16.1. He was a miss. Played 23 minutes. It was a blowout, and he just didn't have too many stats overall. Then last but not least is Nikola Jokic, $11,000, looking for 55 points out of him. He got to 49.3. He was a miss. Only ended up playing 8 minutes in this game. This game was a blowout. He barely played in the fourth quarter. If he gets that fourth quarter run, if he gets that closing run, he's definitely over the top of this price tag yesterday. So once again, you just really see the volatility in NBA DFS. Sometimes you're going to nail all the values, sometimes you're not. But hey, the best thing about it is NBA happens pretty much every day, and you can bounce right back the very next day. But with that being said, we'll get into the injuries in play for tonight's slate. So this is a much larger slate starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's 11-game slate overall. We got 3 games that lock right away at the start time. So the Boston Celtics are without Jaylen Brown and Broderick Thomas once again. Al Horford and Jason Richardson are both questionable to play. They both missed the last time out. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, Sexton, Markkanen, and Kevin Love are all still out. Lamar Stevens is a game-time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing or not. For the Kings, they just have Woodard listed as a game-time decision. Questionable to play. Don't really care about him since he's not in the rotation either way. Detroit Pistons are just without Kelly Olynyk once again. We move over to the Pelicans. They are all the way healthy besides Zion Williamson, who's been out all season. Wizards looking at the same thing we saw the last time out. Rui Hachimura, Thomas Bryant, Davis Bertans, and Bradley Beal all still out in this one. So you'll see a little bit of value maybe with Spencer Dinwiddie, Kyle Kuzma, maybe even an Aaron Holiday with Bradley Beal out once again. For the Orlando Magic, they are without Fultz and Isaac, and then Jalen Suggs, Etuan Moore, and Michael Carter-Williams are all listed as game-time decisions, so they may get 2 players back. Probably not going too heavy on the Magic overall today. For the Atlanta Hawks, they are without Okongwu and DeAndre Hunter, who I did just talk about. That's going to be out for 8 weeks with his wrist surgery at this point in time. The Pacers are without Jackson and Warren once again. Chris Duarte is a game-time decision. Then for the New York Knicks, it's just Nerlens Noel listed as a game-time decision. For the Denver Nuggets, we got Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. still out. Austin Rivers, Cam Carr, and Will Barton are all listed as game-time decisions. Looks like they should play, but Will Barton last night, he was ruled out after lock due to a back injury, so I'm not really trying to go to him today. Kind of screwed me over in one of my lines yesterday, but hey, it happens sometimes. Then on the Mavericks side of the ball, we just got Maxi Kleber out once again. For the Phoenix Suns, Dario Saric is out. DeAndre Ayton is questionable to play. Don't think he ends up playing today, but we'll just have to see. If he ends up playing, it's going to change some of my core around just a little bit overall. The Minnesota Timberwolves are all the way healthy at this point in time. The Miami Heat are without Morris and Oladipo once again. Jimmy Butler's questionable to play, and Bam Adebayo is probable to play. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are all the way healthy at this point in time. The Houston Rockets are just without John Wall, and just looking at their record, I didn't even realize they only had one win so far. That's kind of crazy. Then for the Memphis Grizzlies, just Tilly lists as game time decision. Probably not in the rotation either way. For the Toronto Raptors, this is probably going to be a little bit bigger one because we're waiting on that Fred VanVleet news. He missed the last time out, and he's questionable to play tonight. Chris Boucher and Preston Chachua are both questionable to play as well. Damian Lillard, questionable to play. I assume he misses once again tonight. Greg Brown is also a game time decision, but he doesn't play too often overall. Chicago Bulls are without Nikolai Vucevic and Patrick Williams once again, so it looks like Kobe White may have a chance to play in this game actually. So just keep an eye out on him, see how that rotation looks like tonight. Then for the Los Angeles Lakers, Trevor Ariza, LeBron James, Kendrick Nunn, and Austin Reeves are all still out once again. They did get Talen Horton-Tucker back last night. He actually ended up in that starting lineup, played 27 minutes, played rather well too. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for tonight's slate. We'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So I'm going to start off at the point guard position, and it's the same guy we had yesterday, Anthony Simons. $3,500, looking for 18 points out of him. He's averaging over 20 on the season. I do not expect Damian Lillard to play once again tonight, so Simons should be in that starting lineup and paying off more times than not. Then CJ McCollum at shooting guard going right back today, $7,700, looking for 39 points out of him. I got him projected for 40 points tonight. I do think there's a very good chance that he gets to that point or more, as long as this game's not a blowout like last night. I did not mention Anthony Simons' projected point total. That is going to be around 22 points for me, but definitely has some upside for more. Talen Horton-Tucker, flat minimum, $3,000. We saw him come back last night, be in that starting lineup, play 27 minutes, get 27 fantasy points. There's no reason not to play him today. He's probably going to be one of the biggest chalk plays on the entire slate, but I currently have him projected for 21 points, which is 7 times his price tag value. Then at the power forward position, we got Kyle Kuzma. He's $6,700. Bradley Beal's not playing once again. Looking for about 34 points out of him. I got him projected for about 36, 37 in this game tonight. Then last but not least, we got JaVale McGee, who's coming off a monster game himself, $4,200. Looking for 21 points out of him, averaging almost 22 on the season. Karl-Anthony Towns is probably going to be a matchup that JaVale McGee's out there on the court as long as he's not in foul trouble more than Frank Kaminsky, and that's why I'm interested tonight. But I have him currently projected for 23 points. Definitely has a little bit of upside for more, as we saw last night. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the DraftKings side, you'll have $24,900, $8,300 per player, so you can definitely pay up for a stud. Maybe a couple high-end guys in a value play, not quite 2 studs, or you can do a little bit more balanced approach, as I always mention as well. Definitely could be an interesting slate tonight. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So at the point guard position, looks pretty familiar face here at Dennis Schroeder, $5,700, looking for 29 points out of him. I got him projected for 31 points tonight, and that's what he's averaging on the season. Don't need to say too much more about Dennis Schroeder. If you've been following my channel for any time, you've seen that he's been a pretty good value more slates than not. Then at the shooting guard position, went with Spencer Dinwiddie, $6,500. Looking for about 33 points out of him. Got him projected for about 35, 36 in this game. Last time out without Bradley Beal, took a major step forward. Expect that to happen once again tonight. Then at small forward, we got Kyle Kuzma, $6,800. Looking for 34 points out of him. Got him projected for 36. Once again, Bradley Beal missing tonight's definitely going to help him out. Then we're going back to the Isaiah Stewart train, and he's still only power forward eligible on FanDuel for whatever reason. $5,100, looking for about 25, 26 points out of him. I got him projected for 26 in this game tonight. Assume that he's going to play more minutes against the Kings. Assume it's going to be a rather good matchup for him as well, or one that he's not overmatched, at least at the very least. So as long as this game stays close, Isaiah Stewart's going to look like a very good play tonight. Then last but not least, at the center position, once again, we have JaVale McGee, $4,400. Looking for 22 points out of him. We got him projected for 23, 24 points on the FanDuel side tonight. Like I mentioned on the DraftKings side, he's probably going to be out there guarding Karl-Anthony Towns more often than not. I assume that would be a better matchup for him than someone like Frank Kaminsky. So it could give him a couple of extra little minutes here and there. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 picks on the FanDuel side, you have $31,500 remaining, just under $7,900 per player. So definitely some room, some flexibility. If you want to pay up for 2 studs, you can do that and then find some value plays, or you can do a little bit more balanced approach. And the way the team looks right now, it looks a little bit more balanced approach to me, at least. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, November 15th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, especially for tonight's slate, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. I will also do my best to put the injury updates and the starting lineups for tonight's game. Typically, I do this every day. Today, I got a couple other things going on, but I will try to do my best to keep it as updated as possible as well. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. And then with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I upload a new video. And like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. Typically, I post up all the updates throughout the day as well, so definitely a good resource. Definitely be sure you're checking out those comments throughout the day. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.